Dr. Daniel, I want to follow up on that a little bit. So how many states follow Common Core, have Common Core standards right now?
When we left there were 43 states that had agreed to go back. And now we've had some states that have opted out of the assessment piece of it now, but we still have over 40 states that are engaged in Common Core.
Okay. And so about 40 with Common Core standards, and I think last count 12 with PARC test or something like that. So which raises, particularly in light of the implementation, which has been, I think most folks agree, less than ideal. I've heard the quote from you, Dr. Linch. Some people say it's the implementation is driving me crazy. We know that this sort of thing should have been done 5 years ago, not today. We're doing it now because I think it's clear that it's needed, right? So, I was talking to some folks about the PARC test, and they often say, we need a comparison, we need the ability to compare, we need to be able to compare to other states. Well, you're down to 12 states now. So, okay, that argument's sort of gone. Common Core, time's going to tell whether we go from 40 to 45 or 40 to 35. The lower that number goes, the more that particular argument is eroded, obviously, because the commonality is not there. Whether you like the standards for your state or not, the ability to compare is not there. So that's something that, particularly as it relates to the testing, with only 12 states using PARC, that's the most recent number. That's something we've got to look at. That's where I want to go. I want to talk a little bit about the testing, because from your slide, Ms. Newton, and from what you said, my gut is you would be a good teacher no matter what. My gut is your students are going to learn no matter what. That's who you are. Not every teacher in the world can be like Ms. Newton. And you talk about the flexibility that, I think that's what you were trying to say, what you did say. You have some flexibility with the new standards, or less rigid, which I'm trying to square that with what we've heard from other teachers, which is just the opposite. What other teachers say is, because of the testing, I have less flexibility. That's what we heard before. Not every teacher, but some. And they say it in different ways. Some of them say, because of the testing, I lost a month of teaching time, right? And we heard that. Others say, we're so focused on our school passing the test that I can't do as much as I would do creatively or whatever. And so, can you comment on that? And put standards aside, all three of you, if you would, for a second. Let's talk about the testing. Is there a better way to test? Are we testing too much? Are we maybe not testing too much, but when we do test, it takes up too much time? Can y'all comment on that?
Let me clarify as far as what you're talking about as far as the flexibility. Before, when I was looking into Arkansas frameworks, because they were so specific, I really did feel like I had checklists and I had to go down. And this year, and in the past years, when I started looking at the Common Core state standards, you see that the students are being asked to, and if you're familiar with Lynch technique, you move up as far as their thinking skills, and you move up as far as what you question, and you move up to those higher level thinking skills. And you can't teach that roadly, okay? You have to teach it through experiences and questioning, using those higher level questioning. And as I looked at Common Core and I started thinking about how we're going to test this, you can't address just a single topic. You can't just address just a single concept. You have to teach the children how to think. So as I started doing that, I decided as a teacher that I was not,
Building myself.
okay, that I was not going to teach the test, because I got really good at it, I'll be honest, okay? When we were doing Arkansas frameworks, I got really good at it, I knew how to do it, okay? And so when we moved to the Common Core, I decided I wasn't going to do that anymore, okay? I was going to teach my kids the concepts. If I take the standards and I teach the concepts to the level that the standards are asking, if I do that, they're going to do okay on whatever test you pick. I don't care. If I teach those standards, they're going to be okay.
How many teachers
Now, probably
think
not.
that way?
And it goes back to not everybody's willing to change. And then that goes back to, I don't remember who asked the question, but communicating. We've got to communicate not just with parents, but we've got to communicate with teachers and get that same mindset across to them that if you teach these standards to the level that they are being asked to teach to, then you don't have to worry about your kids because you have developed in your students those thinking and reasoning skills. You know, I gave the example of that special ed student that was able to conquer those skills. Whenever I looked at the standards, one of the things I got concerned about when that first came out, I said, oh no, they've moved systems of equations down to the 8th grade level. My 8th graders can't do that, but my 8th graders did. And that did a problem that I would have given last week to my algebra students that would have struggled with. They had the strategies that I had taught them through these tasks and different things that I told you about. They had the strategies. They decomposed that problem. They looked at it. They made sense of it. And they solved it. They might not have solved it the same way, but they did it. Okay? And that's because they were learning to think. And that if we can move the mindset from thinking that I've got to get my kids to pass the test to I need to get my kids to learn how to